Gas has stopped flowing through the biggest pipeline linking Russia to Germany today. It's a scheduled shutdown, but politicians fear this year President Putin could use it as a pretext to inflict economic and political pain on Europe. It carries 55 billion cubic meters of gas, a vital source of energy.
Nord Stream 1 is always serviced in the summer, with the pipeline being shut down, usually for 10 days. But given the pattern we've seen, it wouldn't be super surprising if some little technical detail is found and then they say, we can't switch it on again now, we have found something during maintenance, and that's it. So in this respect, the situation is clearly tight.
A prolonged squeeze in supply would also prevent European countries stockpiling the gas before the winter. But the tactic would also leave Russia without revenues used to fund its war in Ukraine. Mario Bowden, Euronews.
Well, in Germany, covering this story for us tonight is reporter Kate Brady. Good evening to you, Kate. Good to see you. I mean, the word from Russia is that this is routine maintenance, but I wonder there in Berlin, are they preparing for the possibility that these taps might just not ever come back on?
They certainly are preparing for that possibility, and the harsh reality right now is that Germany simply isn't quite there when it comes to being prepared for the outcome should that gas supply through Nord Stream 1 not be turned back on again. And the head of Germany's energy regulator has previously, in recent weeks, repeatedly warned that Germany currently has about 2 to 3 months' worth of stores, which would get us to here in Germany to barely to the beginning of the autumn here. So of course there is really a real concern. We heard from Robert Habeck there, the German Vice Chancellor, and also the Energy and Economy Minister here in Germany as well, who has previously said that even the current reductions in the gas until today through Nord Stream 1, he saw them as being more political, and saying that the repairs that had been cited by Gazprom didn't usually need the level of reduction in gas that Germany had been experiencing. So that really is a concern right now, and as we've seen since the beginning of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Germany is still scrambling to try and find more energy resources. But of course, none of the measures really have any immediate effect right now. There are some measures in place, like expanding onshore wind farming, for example, and also just recently we spoke about Germany reigniting some coal-fueled electricity plants, but that's not going to change anything overnight. So another important point that Robert Habeck, the economy minister, underlined today was certainly the need for European solidarity, which effectively means borrowing among European friends, shall we say.
Exactly, that's what that phrase means. It's a difficult position to be in, to have to go around asking other European countries, who could essentially also be hit too later, one would think. So how will this all work out?
Well, it certainly is a difficult point. It is worth reminding ourselves as well that certainly a lot of Germany's European neighbours and friends had been warning Germany for many, many years about how reliant it had become on Russia for its gas. Most recently, until the invasion of Ukraine, Germany was importing 56% of its natural gas from Germany. So certainly a limited amount of Schadenfreude among European friends right now. But of course, among the EU 27, they are trying to take a united front going forward towards the winter months, for which Germany and Europe is already preparing for. And effectively, what does that mean? Well, we might even see rationing, and that's certainly a word that we might see some more of in the next months, particularly as we head into winter. There are some other measures that could be brought into fruition. For example, the US has already said that it could send over 15 billion cubic meters of liquefied natural gas. But even then, there are problems. Europe doesn't quite have the capacity to store all of that either. So certainly Germany, like the rest of Europe, right now preparing for an expensive and cold autumn and winter ahead.